And we are back with Facts Not Feelings live streaming from the beautiful Wynn Hotel, the Villa Suites over here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And I have my dear friend who we officially have met. We've spoken so much. You were on the podcast very, very early on. Still trying to figure out what I was doing with that, how to do it. But I think we've worked out some of the kinks. But I'm so glad to actually see you. We didn't have our chicken parm dinner, though.
We did not, but it's funny that as soon as we met, we said, "Oh my gosh, you're real!" So we talked to each other a lot of times, but it's the first time we get together. It's awesome to be here. Thank you, Bruce.
I'm so excited. So for those who don't know, you've heard me talk about privacy for cars a ton. This is the man, the myth, the legend behind privacy for cars. Get in touch with him. If you don't follow on LinkedIn, follow him now. Like you can still watch the show, but you can also follow him at the same time. You talk so much about obviously privacy. I get that. But all the other, you know what? I'm going to stop there. I'm just going to turn it over to you. If someone may not know what privacy for cars is, without me gushing about how awesome this product is, tell the audience.
We try to make privacy a reality for consumers around the world with cars, because cars collect a lot of data. And so we're helping consumers take control of their data. And we're also helping companies in the automotive space to turn privacy not just into something that they need to do for compliance, and there's a lot more regulatory compliance pressure, but also into a value proposition. How, a way to have a honest conversation with consumers and build trust and show that you're better than the dealership next door. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and I will go off that. I loved your analogy of saying, your car is now the third screen, and where you may feel that I'm just getting maps, or I'm just getting what? No, you're all your data from your phone, like yours. You actually, this is yours of saying, would you ever unlock your phone and then give it to somebody? No. I
wouldn't. And that's actually how we stop some people coming down the hall. We say, "Hey, can I borrow your phone?" And they go instantly, they clench to the phone. And of course you would, right? Why would you give the phone to a stranger? But oddly enough, still today, more than 4 out of 5 cars are resold in the United States with the data of the previous owner in it.
That stat still kills me. And I think when we spoke last, you said it's over 4 or 5. Like it's 4 point something like that, which is just, it's more than 80%. That's nuts.
Yeah. And we hear a lot from consumers. And so we know that 9 out of 10 go to a dealership that test drive 1 or 2 cars of their choice, random pick, and they find data of consumers. And now that awareness on the problem is changing, because 2 years ago, consumers honestly didn't know, but now you sit in a car and there's a giant screen and it just feels like you're sitting into a giant cell phone.
Yep.
And so they start to realize just intuitively, there's something going on in there with their data. They're not getting straight answers from dealers. And so in that white space, they fill it with their own thoughts and fears. And again, I think it's a great opportunity for dealers to instead be in charge of the narrative, show that they are the good actors that do the right things, and they do it better than, again, the dealers next door or across town.
Amen. So that's going to lead me to the next question here, and I'm going to just let you run with this one. I'm really excited for you to answer this one. What do you see as the biggest challenge, or one of the biggest challenges going into 2024 for our industry?
Well, I think that there's a big divide between what we think where technology is and where the rest of the world in technology is. Right? Cars today, the technology in cars, as much as we think it's advanced, is about where cell phones were 15 years ago, and a lot of protections and processes and just the way data is handled on consumer electronics. There are standards that are international, and so for example, you bring your used hard drive to Best Buy, they'll wipe the data before they refurbish it, because it's mandated by law, but also because they're part of international alliance where they say we're going to be good ethical actors at what we do. So it happens with a $50 hard drive. Doesn't happen with a $50,000 car.
It's a little backwards there, by the way. Like the logic on that just not there.
Yeah, and the technology is the same, right? And today I was talking to a dealer, and he told me, "Oh, now I get it, because I'm buying a laptop, and my laptop comes with an antivirus, and then the salesperson tell me, do you want a VPN? Do you want this? Do you want that? And we don't have anything for cars." I'm like, yeah, exactly.
It is. And as we're here at NADA, obviously, a lot of people there might be people rented cars. Like maybe you drove here or you rented a car. Please delete your information. That's there's a great app called Privacy for Cars that can help you with that.
Thank you. Yeah, we do. And we offer a lot of free services to consumers. So yeah, we have a free app to help you delete your data. We launched this summer something called Privacy Report. think of it like a Carfax of privacy. And so you can punch in the bin and we'll tell you the unvarnished truth about what's going on with your car when it comes to data privacy. And there's a lot of free call to action. So if you want to take control of your privacy, there's actually a lot of things you can do.
That's another thing. I was shocked how much free information or free whatever, I would say complimentary, but there's so much stuff there. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I mean, we're a mission-driven company. So everything we do it with thinking about the consumer first. And we think it's important to raise awareness, right? I mean, we care about people feeling that they're in control of their data, and today's just not happening. So we're trying to fill that blank space.
Amen. Okay, so you've been to a few NADAs.
Yes.
How's this one differ?
This one is different because it's the first time that we are actually getting, people looking us up. Like so on yesterday, the doors open, right? And the first person that comes in literally walks straight into our booth and says, I heard you on the radio, on the Kim Commander show. I saw that you were exhibiting an NADA. What are you doing with dealers? I want to learn everything about it. And that honestly, it never happened before, right? And so I think that it's a combination of, there's been a lot of reports, like the Mozilla report on how bad privacy with vehicle is. Yes, it is. And there's been, I think, now we've been in the market since 2020. So I think a lot of dealers, and we work with some big dealerships. So I think that the word is starting to come out at 20 groups and so on and so forth. So I think the combination of regulatory pressure, media presence, and just awareness within the industry is growing. And I think there's a lot of dealers that want to do the right thing. They just had never thought about it. Mm-hmm. And so NADA is a great way to learn about what we do and see if it fits. And my hope is that it does. Again, why shouldn't we protect consumers, right?
It's the consumer and it's also the dealership, because if your stuff's on there, come on, like you're just going to leave data on there. And I've used the example when we were talking about demos or loaners, but demos. Now the consumer gets into that vehicle and they're very upset about something. They have where your home is. They got your garage key. Yeah. They've got all of that. So I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah,
50% of consumers tell us they can find the home address of the previous owner by test driving one or two cars.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
I have not heard that one.
You're 2 buttons away, right? Yeah. You go home and open the garage door close for getting to somebody's house. So hopefully they'll offer you a drink. But you're
like, so.
Yeah, exactly. Southern hospitality, right? Have some iced tea, right? But let's all agree that shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't. Okay, so I'm asking everyone. Someone out there in the audience, they're looking. Hey, I want to go to NADA. I have not been there. It's gonna be my first time. What is one piece of advice you'd give them? Well,
first of all, come to booth 7350 North. Well, no, but what we have figured out this year is that the FTC is changing the way in which they look at a lot of products.
Yeah.
And they're going to start to take Lego bricks out of what you're doing in pre-pack and F&I. And we have created the first product where you can add a brick back that is based on privacy and protection for consumers, which is, I think, what the FTC is all about.
Yeah.
And so finding a way in which you can do the right thing for your customers, protect your dealerships, and be able to sustain or improve your profitability, we think it's a win-win-win. So my hope is that more people will think about privacy again in a different way. I think about privacy as something that the lawyers need to handle, as opposed to something you put in the showroom as a selling point. Mm-hmm. But think about safety. I mean, safety was like that 30 years ago, right? Yeah. And now it's one of the major selling points. Yeah.
Don't go through the windshield. Here you go.
Yeah. And in general, at NADA, I think it's a great place to bump into people and have great conversations. And it's such a great place to be at.
It doesn't hurt with this weather. I mean, we had a lot of rain the other day, but it's like absolutely gorgeous here on top of everything else. You get to see everyone, and it makes people happy when you have sunshine.
You look like you're from California. Actually, I told you. You have this beautiful jacket, and your sunglasses. You're totally ready for the weather.
Surfboard, I'm good to go. I did live there for a time, but I get it's definitely the blonde hair. I get California quite a bit. I'll take it though. I like California. You guys are out that way, right?
I used to live in California. Yeah. No, now I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, there you go. All right, everyone. First off, thank you so much for being on here. So appreciate it. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Always good to see you.
You're awesome. Thank you.
I feel the same way about you. All right. I honestly have no idea who's coming up next, but it's someone who's going to be amazing, and we'll learn a lot from this person and all of that fun stuff. Everyone, thank you for being a part of this. And until next time, we will see you in just a little bit.